Allow me to record a quick little tutorial regarding Moss, because Moss is the kind of program that is released as is. It comes with no, how-to guide or any kind of utility to help you guys get the hang of it. So this is me kind of filling in that role. First things first, you're gonna have to get Moss. The webpage to get it is nohope.eu. Nohope.eu. You can of course nohope.eu. You can of course use a search engine, but of course typing the direct link is going to be so much faster. Second step is going to be, well, you guessed it, to download it. You can either get the 64 or 32 bits version. It doesn't really change anything, so I'm going to go with the 64 bits. Make sure to save the file, and also downloads are protected by the password Moss. Why is there a password on this website? I'm not going to delve into the long-winded version of it, but basically the zip file right here isn't readable without a password. And why is that important? Simply put, you are going to need a third-party zip management software such as WinRAR or 7-Zip, because Windows natively, let me just open it up with the Windows File Explorer. I know my Windows in French and you can probably not read this, but you can recognize an error message whenever one occurs. Windows natively does not handle password protected zip files, which is where you're going to need, once again, something that does, such as WinRAR or 7-Zip. So let me just extract it, and here it is going to ask me for the password. Once again, password is Moss, capital M. So let me just enter it real quick. And if you hit OK, of course, it is going to extract it. So the Moss folder is here, and that file is not an installer. It is the proper program itself. Now, Moss is an anti-cheat software, and as such, it is quite intrusive because it's going to be, making a blanket scan of your computer to make sure that you are not running any cheats in the background. However, that comes at a price of, well, privacy. I'm not here to get your data or anything, but what I'm trying to say, what I'm getting at, is that some antiviruses may not like a program that's trying to know everything that's going on on your computer. And as such, you may have to go the extra step of allowing it or disabling your antivirus settings to allow the program to run. That, of course, is going to be slightly different from one antivirus to the other. I am likely to get an error message really quickly, so let's look at this. If I double click, it is going to ask for admin privileges. And here, for some reason, the latest version of Moss isn't the one that you download directly. So, okay, we have one update to go through. And here, it did allow it. Okay, because I just I ran this in the background to make sure everything goes correctly before recording the tutorial, and my antivirus in that instance, Windows Defender, was giving me a few issues, and I just had to come in the protection somewhere. Of course, when you have a big blinking message saying that you have a potential threat, is going to direct you directly to the threat. Was it here? I'm no longer sure, but once again, it is going to differ from one antivirus software to the other. Do expect to have to look into it, especially if the update fails and it gives you the error message number 7. But now that is done, I'm not sure if I said it already, it's not an installer, it's the program itself. So if I double click, once again, it's going to ask for admin privileges. Just give it to him, and then this is going to be on. Now, one or two things to note. First and foremost, you're going to have to go in parameters and tell it that we're not going to be playing a generic browser game, but we're going to be playing Rainbow Six instead. That has to be done only once, and now it's going to be set for basically ever. Second of all, if you want to start a capture, just hit start. Sometimes it may seem unresponsive. I'm clicking, I'm dragging, it's not doing much, but give it a second, waiting for game. Okay, it might be waiting for Rainbow Six to start up. Okay, there you go. Now it's running, and like I said, it seems unresponsive, but it's not the end of the world. Give it just half a second. Now you're going to be playing your game while that is running, and then after the game, you're going to go and capture once again and stop the recording. One thing I do want to note is it's going to be always on top, as you can see. So if you're playing Rainbow Six, and you're moving the mouse because you're moving your character around, if you click to shoot here, it is going to bring that program back to the forefront, aka it is going to minimize your game, which can be really annoying in game, right? So make sure to either plug that onto your second screen if you have one, or to minimize it before going into Rainbow Six. That's going to be really important for your quality of life. Once you're done, you just hit stop. That capture is then basically stopping. Give it half a sec. Once again, it may seem unresponsive for a few seconds. Right here, it does not responding. If I try to do anything, it's likely going to freeze up. But, I mean, it's just calculating. It's not actually broken, as you can see here. Where is the MOS file going to be? It's going to be here in the on your desktop, and the latest file is going to be this one. Basically, MOS is then going to contain screenshots, log file of everything that's been running, and all that good stuff to make sure that you have not been cheating. Basically, you are then going to be asked to send us that zip file. And how do you do that? We use Mediafire. Mediafire.com. You don't need to have an account or anything, and that's exactly what way we are using it. Upload files now, drag and drop. Oh, let me just do this and that. Okay, so do I have an account? I'm not logged in yet. That's awesome. Drag and drop. It is going to upload your files. Give it half a second. Upload complete. Well, act like it, please. Copy the share link, and that share link, as you can see, it's right here. You would then send us that link to allow us to basically scan the MOS files if anything was to be suspicious or deemed suspicious by either us or the enemy team. I hope this has answered all of your questions. If you have any other questions, do feel free to ask them in either Guilded or Discord or wherever. I will make sure to read everything and to respond to those questions as quick as possible. With that being said, best of luck in game, and may the best team win.